It is once again trailer day, so I am back and we are going to watch the new trailer for the For Rent expansion pack together. You might be thinking, Kayla, didn't you already do this like 2 weeks ago? And yes, we did. We watched the announcement trailer. This one is the gameplay trailer. Usually The Sims posts a couple of trailers. The first one is kind of like a highlight reel almost of a bunch of new stuff coming in the pack. And then the second one is a gameplay trailer that breaks down the features a little bit more. They're usually quite different styles, and the gameplay trailers are often narrated, so a person is talking and explaining stuff to us. My prediction is that it's gonna be like a day in the life of a landlord or something, and they'll walk us through what you do and how you make money and like maybe what you do at night after you finish work or something, and it'll probably introduce one of the new townies that will be in the world. That's kind of how it's gone the past few times, but we don't really know what to expect. I've got the premiere open and ready, and the title right now says, "Look what we found at the night market." So I guess they're probably gonna show off some of the new features like in the world. I usually like to break down these screenshots and kind of look and see what's in them, but for some reason this one is very blurry. It's like a low quality image. But just right now I'm seeing some new chairs. There's obviously a lot of new signs and some new food stalls back here. I'm loving both of these Sims outfits and hairstyles. Even little things like this Sim in the background sneakers look kind of cute. It says the premiere will begin shortly, so any second it's gonna like jump into the countdown, and every single time it scares me. I am always sitting here just staring at the clock waiting for it to start, and yet somehow every single time I jump as soon as the countdown begins. Oh, okay. I was ready that time, I think. I didn't get that scared. All right, here we go. 2 minutes until it begins. I also never know how to do the audio for these. I feel like I'm always trying to adjust the levels while it's starting because I don't know how loud it's gonna be. You know what else? We never know how long these are gonna be. They're usually like 3 to 4 minutes, sometimes closer to 3 minutes, but I guess we're kind of just gonna have to see. Okay, ready? Here we go. The countdown begins. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Deep breath, everybody. I'm scared. Oh, pretty family photos. Oh, we're gonna have to go back and watch all of this again so we can pause on the stuff. All right, here's one of the new families.
My dear friends, I made this video to pass on the lessons I've learned as your humble property owner over all these years. And so that old Lama Chong won't mess it all up. I may be retired, but I still know things you don't.
Okay.
As property owner, there's much to consider. Since you're still living here, you'll no longer pay rent. So, adding few units to rent out to new tenants will offer additional income and help maintain your building. The better you make the units, the better the rating will be. Oh, also, shared spaces for tenants to get to know each other. Okay, very important. To manage your residential rental lot, you will use this handy tool. Set parameters for each of your rental units. The tenant rules, length of lease, and rental rate. I'm sure you want to change on this rent as well.
Wow, you pick the rent per day?
You're ready to fill your vacancies. Tenant applications show all the details of the unit you are renting. The higher the unit rating, the more renters you'll attract. You can also view their details to see if they are good fit too. This reduces the level of work tenants may make for you. Relax, it's just a joke. Oh, I wish I could see your faces. Okay, now you have tenants and collecting rent. Everything's good until it's not. If someone is late on rent, you can post a rent demand. You can even take their stuff. And sometimes, because of unpaid bills or breaking rental rules, you'll face the hardest responsibility of property owner, eviction. But as their property owner, you may have an opportunity to help someone who just needed a second chance. Now, friends, please listen. My final advice. Multi-unit life will bring many funny, dramatic, and unexpected situations both tenants and property owner will have to deal with. Just listen to your needs and your tenants' needs. Be more than a property owner. Be the community builder. Bring people together. Through social events, share a meal. And above all else, enjoy the road ahead.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Okay, I'm done. How do you turn this?
Okay.
By 18th of January to get the street its content.
I don't care about the Street Eats content. Okay, so let's talk about this. Every single time the trailers are just like this. This was very normal. It's not like worse than previous packs or anything. I see a lot of people in the chat being like, that's it, but this is super normal for the scope of a gameplay trailer. They usually try and pinpoint one like main feature, in this case being a property owner, and then kind of explain how it works. So the story here was that guy was telling us all of his tips and tricks after running a property for a long time. He was giving us the tips on how to do it. Again, it's always like kind of cringe. Like I mentioned earlier, it was gonna be like a voiceover of some day in the life thing. This was almost cuter because they had like the home movie sort of aspect to it. I want to go back and look at the stuff that stood out to me the most because I was really curious about the UI. This is probably like the most interesting thing to me. I've been so curious how this is gonna work and how you're gonna be able to separate the different spaces. So we're seeing again, there's a pink outline on a unit and it looks like you can pick it by room, and then there's some sort of unit configuration menu where you can determine and then I guess label which one belongs to who, or like give a name to each. That's what I want to see more footage of. I want to see how this works. I don't really care about a lot of the other things they showed in this. I just want to see how the building works. So they showed us that sort of like configuration menu. Whenever they do these trailers, I always get so distracted. I'm like, so much is happening, I can barely tell. Oh, go back. Okay, so you pick per room. So it looks like you click on the room and then you can label it as a shared space, as your space. In this case, as the anti space, or you could create a new unit, and I assume that you can just change names for all these labels. You can probably customize it completely. I like the story here where it's like a family member that you're renting to. I think that's probably what I'm gonna use this most often for. I'm probably gonna have like the grandparents living next door and stuff. So I like that a lot and I appreciate them showing it to us. Yeah, look, they marked it as ours and it turned green. And then they go next door and they can mark this one as a new unit and then turn it yellow. When they make the new unit, you can relabel it. It tells you how much it costs, what the unit dimensions are. You can put how many bedrooms and bathrooms are in there. So it looks like you can get a lot of detail for each unit. And then in here, we can make like an open shared hallway space that everybody can use. This is exactly what I wanted it to be like. This is like exactly what I was anticipating out of this pack. If I was gonna try and like make this myself, that's probably how I would have done the UI. So I appreciate that it's like easy and seems quite simple and easy to use. Okay, this is the tool that you can use to manage the residential rental lot. So you can set the rent per day, you can set the length of the lease. There's a unit rating, and I guess that there's like some amenity ratings and stuff. Like it's medium size, it has desirable amenities, it's a decent environment, and satisfactory maintenance. So I guess we're gonna get some sort of like review or like score on all of these things that's gonna work together to make the unit rating. So you'll probably be able to work to improve these things. Like if your people think that the environment is bad, you'll probably be able to like upgrade it to make it better. Just like how the dine out stuff works and things, which maybe isn't promising. Comparing it to dine out probably isn't a good idea, but that seems like how it's gonna be. And then you can also pick rules. Do you think that these are the only rules that you can set? Because there's only 5, but they all say inactive. So it sounds like maybe you have to turn them on and then pick which ones you'd like to use. Because I was kind of hoping to have perhaps more rules. I'm wondering if there's gonna be like a no pets kind of rule or things like that. I'm really intrigued by the no ghosts rule. I guess that's gonna be helpful if you live on the lot and you don't want it to be haunted or something, but that just seems like such a strange addition. The other ones, like no social events, no loud noises, that makes sense. The ghost is kind of a wild card. It looks like you can also choose to unjustly evict them or travel to the unit here from this menu. I wonder how much the rent, is there gonna be like a suggestion for how much the rent should be? Because I feel like I don't know enough about the Sims economy to be able to guess. I think this seems like it's some sort of application menu, so I can pick a tenant that I want to be able to move in. This person wants a 1-bedroom place and they have a rent cap of 150. It looks like these people have maybe a higher budget. This person wants 2 bedrooms because there's 2 Sims living here. I like how it tells you a little bit about them without giving too much personal information. Like just knowing that it's adults, that's fine. And it shows like all the age groups. These people even have a baby. That's kind of cool. I like this guy. I like the narrator a lot, and I liked the Sim who was playing the narrator. They were funny and they had some good jokes in this trailer. Okay, so out here we can see some more features like the hopscotch again. We can see a lot more of the furniture and clothing kind of around in the background. I'm so focused on features that I haven't even looked at the stuff. So this is the new kettle. We've got an electric kettle being used. I think that's another new dishwasher, and it's also skinny, like the one from the Home Chef Hustle pack. We've got a really nice new shelf. I bet that this is just decorative. I think those things are probably coming slotted to it, but that's really good. That's a nice kitchen shelf to use. We've got a cute dish rack. I'm seeing a new chair. This looks like maybe a new shuttered window right here. Not seeing new kitchen cabinets, so I find that kind of concerning. Okay, rent past due. We're demanding money. That makes me feel bad. This part, this is the thing, right? Like, morally, this just feels so wrong. Like, I used to sort of enjoy in The Sims 3 the repo man that would come and steal my stuff when I didn't pay the bills, and it was the same thing. They had this like big giant item and they would like vacuum up your stuff if you didn't pay your bills. But in this case, it just, when I'm the one doing it, like it just feels wrong to like be repossessing this family's item. Like it just, I don't know about the landlord pack. I don't want to be a landlord. I want to build and live in an apartment. I don't really want my Sims to be a landlord. So I just feel kind of conflicted about this. And like having these like horrible places that are destroyed and like bad, it just makes me feel so not good. I don't know. In this case, like this Sim's getting evicted, I just, it makes me feel bad. I don't like this. It's not good. I think it's okay when it happens to my Sims, but my Sims being the one who does it, or like me being the one who does it, like the bug infestation and the tenant revolt. Honestly, I am on your side. Revolt all you want. These landlords in The Sims are horrible. I'm gonna have a lot of fun making fun of my Sims landlord. And I'm gonna play the pack. Like I'm gonna try out being a bad landlord. I'm just gonna feel really guilty while I'm doing it. Like this poor kid playing in that disgusting toilet, that's horrible. By the way, new kind of toilet. We have a new squat toilet. I'm also seeing some really beautiful new tile, and it looks like, I don't know if that's mold or if it's like dirt on the wall, but there's some sort of new assets. New sink back here. In this room, we've got some really beautiful new curtains. This is a pretty new mirror, new couch, new ottoman, new rug, new table and chairs. These are new bar stools, and that looks like a new kitchen set. I don't know if that's a bar or if it's an island counter, but that looks like some sort of new bar item. And no, it must be a counter because there's a stool on that side. So I think we are getting a new kitchen set. I just haven't seen it yet in this trailer. Here's a new grill. Oh, here we go. Kitchen cabinets. Yeah, okay, there you go. Kitchen cabinets. I saw him in the other trailer, but I hadn't seen him yet today. We can kind of see it a little bit better back here. That looks like some sort of new mini fridge as well, unless that's the one in the base game and I'm just misremembering. But mini fridge, new table again. I really like the new appliances. I think it was confirmed on Twitter. I thought when I first saw that one that it was a rice cooker. I think it's supposed to be an Instant Pot or like a pressure cooker. And I guess that makes more sense, but I got excited about the idea of a rice cooker. When I saw it from afar in the first trailer, I was like, oh my God, but pressure cooker is good too. I'm curious about how many new recipes are gonna be in the pack because we're probably gonna have a lot of them. And then they have the lanterns going up. This is a beautiful scene. Like the sky back there is so pretty. And now the family is ending their final video with him and he has made us all laugh, and that was the trailer completed. Now, I don't care about the early purchase content. I reject early purchase content. It always makes me just feel sad. I don't like the concept of this. It sucks that like people miss out on it if they don't get the pack early. You have a lot of time. You have until January 18th to get it, but it just sucks because not everybody can afford to buy the pack right now. And like what if you get it 5 years down the line because you just start playing The Sims and then you've completely missed out on this? I don't know. I don't love early content, so I really dislike this. At least these things aren't like game changers, you know? It's nice, they're cute, I like them, but like we can live without them. It's just a couple items, so it's okay, but I don't really love the concept of this here. I am kind of curious to see if there is maybe some more information, like another blog post anywhere. I don't think so. These are all the same blog posts as before. Okay. Well, should I watch the entire thing again without skipping so that we can really pause on stuff and look at new items? These photos are always kind of some movie magic, by the way. There probably isn't going to be new family photo features. We can see a couple little bits of decor here in this first shot. I really like these new chairs. These look really cool, and I like this plant a lot. The pattern on those curtains is beautiful. Okay, here we can see some marbles. We've got a new candle. I think that might be a new kid's toy. I'm not 100% sure. Go back. Oh. directly behind my face cam. This is either a tiny little statue or maybe a toy that children can play with. We don't get very many new toys often, so that's kind of nice to have. And I'm assuming that these people are probably one of the townie families that are gonna come in the pack. So it's kind of cool to get to meet them. In the background here, we can see some interesting wall decor. There's like maybe some lanterns. That's that bar stool again and the new couch. They have to put this disclaimer, not all images appear in game, because this part obviously is not a real TV show. Like they've edited it in to like tell the story of the trailer where he's filmed this video for us. We can also see this really beautiful bird of paradise plant. There's like a basket over here. This is a new painting. This one behind my face cam, I wonder if that's a photo that was taken in game or if it's actually an item in build mode, because it looks like it might be a picture of that place from the trailer before, but obviously I'm not really 100% sure yet. We'll find out. In his background, we can see a couple new plants. This plant's new, that plant's new, chair. I don't know what this is. Maybe that's a new plant too. I'm so excited about the build mode stuff. I know that's what I keep pointing out, but the build stuff for me is the biggest part of this. I am by far most excited about build mode things. There's a lot of really interesting roof details, like this new spandrel, this roof piece up here. We've got some really beautiful shuttered windows and some new kinds of doors as well. I am not really seeing much new landscaping though. This is all base game landscaping, so I don't think we got anything new plant-wise outside. This is the good stuff. When they start building these units, we can see all the furniture. There's a lot of new wall decor, it looks like. I really like this rug a lot. I'm also really into the kitchen set. I keep pointing out these chairs, but I think the chairs are really speaking to me. Those are really beautiful. In this unit, we can see that pretty wall decor again. There's a new radiator on the wall. There's like some sort of welcome mat here by the front door, which is kind of cute. And these are both, it looks like studio apartments. And then we've renovated this, so they've got one big shared hallway in the entryway. I really like this new plant. I think I'm gonna use that plant a lot. They didn't really show too much of the basement things from the previous trailer. I was wondering if they would give us more information about how like the water heater works and stuff, but we didn't really get a chance to see that. I do love her outfit though. This is pretty. All of the hairs and clothing I've seen as well, I don't keep pointing it out as much, but like the hairs and clothing from this so far look really nice too. This hair, all of their clothes, it's all just really good. I like this one a lot with the blue in it. We can see the kitchen cabinets a bit better in this view, and also this new wallpaper. Here's that radiator. I'm wondering, because we have a radiator already in the vampires pack, which obviously is not functional, I'm assuming that these can break and it's like a thing your landlords have to fix. So I'm wondering if they're gonna go back and update the vampires one to also be functional, or if it's just gonna be pretend. I really like having those though. I think it's kind of cool to put those in houses. Maybe this is like just me being from Florida, so the novelty of a radiator is like really cool to me. I've never had a house that has a radiator. I don't turn on the heat in this house, so it's just kind of fun, the idea of a radiator, for me being from like a horrible hot place. But I like that. I think it's cool. Everything I'm seeing, all the build stuff is just so pretty. I really like the new kitchen set. Everything about it is so impressive. Here's a couple interesting things. This looks like a take your shoes off sort of sign, maybe like a no shoes rule. So I wonder if they've continued that from Snowy Escape. And I wonder if there's any other rules type of signs, like maybe like a do not enter the basement kind of sign if you have like mechanical stuff down there. I'm so intrigued about a lot of the ways that this stuff works, because in these trailers, they don't answer questions like that. They kind of just show off like main standout features, and then we have to wait until we get like the official live stream to see more of the details. Oh, look at that little plant. That's so pretty again. I really like that. The rest of the house is not pretty. This is a disaster, but that plant looks nice. Okay, so couple things that are standing out the most to me question-wise. Obviously, I mentioned earlier some of the cross-pack stuff. I'm really curious about like cross-pack compatibility and like, are there rules for the tenants related to pets and other things like that? They're showing a lot about you being a landlord. So it's making me wonder how it works if you just want to live in the apartment and not be related to running it at all. Because they talk about like, you can own it and rent it to other people, but can I just rent it and have someone else be my landlord? Because that's what I want, and they haven't shown that yet. And I don't think them not showing it means that it's not a feature. I think it's just not the main feature. Like the whole main gameplay of this pack is that you can be the landlord, and I just don't care about that. I don't want to be a landlord. I want to have a landlord, which just sounds really weird to say. But I want my Sims to have a landlord. Couple other immediate things that jump out to me. So they showed off previously in some of those little teaser videos that you can have 6 units on a lot, but then SimGuru Ninja tweeted something about being able to use a cheat to make the max number of units higher. So I wonder how many units is the actual max with the cheat? It makes sense to have like a decently high max, like 6 for average people, but then to have a cheat available to make it worse. Because I bet it's a performance thing. I think that probably having more than 6 is gonna be a lot on your computers, but I wanna have more than 6 sometimes. So I'm curious how that works. And then the other thing is now seeing the menu a little bit more. I was sort of under the impression that you totally could not use this to be like a pretend hotel pack, but now that I've seen it, the way that they had that menu set up where you could set how long the lease was, it makes me wonder if you could make the lease like 1 day and then pretend that you're running a hotel and people are coming to stay for short periods of time. So I wonder if there's a minimum to the lease length, and I wonder if there's a maximum. I have so many questions about the details around all of this. I don't know if they've said when the official live stream is going to be, but I really, really want to know because I want them to answer all of my questions. I could sit here and talk about this trailer all day, by the way. Like I have so many thoughts and so much to say, but I probably shouldn't go on much longer because at this point I'm just repeating myself. I'm sorry if this video was kind of awkward. I feel like sometimes reacting to trailers, I'm just staring at it like in awe and not speaking before I like sit down and process. So sorry if the initial few minutes were a little bit weird. I'm also gonna link this trailer down below and my previous trailer reaction if you wanna go back and watch those. This is the kind of trailer that I could go back and watch like 5 times and still notice new things in. So if you wanna watch it again for yourselves, I'm gonna have it linked down below. And then the other thing, I know this kind of trailer is just weird. Like I think at its core, it's hard to make one of these trailers that isn't kind of awkward and weird. The expansion packs just have such big scope that they can't really show it all off in one trailer. So I wouldn't watch this trailer and then write off the pack as being completely useless just because you think that they didn't show enough. Because even when you go back and watch the previous trailers for older Sims packs, like some of my favorite Sims packs, those trailers kind of leave you feeling like, oh, is that all? That's just kind of the nature of these gameplay trailers. They pick just the one biggest feature and then try and talk about that. But there's a ton of other things they didn't really show off yet, even like the night market stuff and a lot of those things that we haven't seen. We've barely seen the world. Like there's so much that they haven't given us yet in this trailer. So as soon as I get early access to this pack, I'm gonna make a super comprehensive review for you. If I were you, I don't think that you should pre-order this pack right now. Not that I think it's gonna be bad, but like I personally would wait until you've seen reviews and like seen more footage of it before you spend $40 on it. You can still get the pre-order bonus up until January, so there's no need to buy it today. Hold off just in case, because like what if it ends up being a wedding story situation and it's like a disaster? Obviously, I hope that it's not that, and I don't think it will be that. But you know, let's not spend $40 yet, and we'll wait until we have some more footage. And let me know in the comments what's standing out to you the most about this trailer. What are you excited about? What are you looking forward to? And I think that covers all of the trailer stuff. And before I go, there was actually a really small update that I haven't really talked about in a video yet. It was so small that it wasn't really worth making a video on because it's just one new hairstyle. It was actually really funny because they tweeted, "Did someone say new hairdo? A new Sims Delivery Express is here with a new curly hair perfect for any Sim." And this tweet is edited because on the day they said head in game now and try it out on your Sim. Turns out they meant tomorrow. They posted it a day early saying it's out right now, and then it wasn't. So they had to be like, oops, we meant tomorrow, by the way, sorry. So it came out on Tuesday. It's actually a pretty cute hairstyle, and I guess it maybe is technically 2 hairstyles because there's a plain one and then also an ombre version. So I guess the update did have 2 hairs and not just one, but it's pretty cute. It's like a shorter wavy hairstyle. I'll show you all of the swatches quickly so you can see all of the versions on this ombre one. This one is not really too vibrant. It's not like a lot of bright colors. It's sort of like a natural highlight almost to the hair color, but it's nice to have another variation because we don't really have that many hairs like this that have some color variants. And then of course we also have the plain one that's just all one color, and it's a pretty cute hair. I'm not mad about this. I will gladly accept any additional hair updates they want to give us. I quite like these SDX drops too because we've gotten a lot of hairstyles in SDX drops. SDX means Sims Delivery Express, and it's like a mini update in between the big monthly patches. And like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 or 5 of these hairs all came out in SDX drops. It's been a while since we had one. It's been at least a few months, so I'm glad they did this. And then the other big news is they actually announced the official merch store launch date. They had teased that we were going to get a merch store a few months ago, but we didn't know when it was coming. So now we know the shop is dropping on November 21st at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and they didn't really show anything from the store yet. They've kind of got some very small, strategically placed teaser photos to like tease the items. At the very least, there's a green water bottle here and a Bonehilda sticker. In this picture, this shirt looks like it maybe says Sul Sul, and we also have a Freezer Bunny plushie here. In this one, the person is wearing a Plum Bob shirt. And then in this last photo, this t-shirt looks like it maybe has a bunch of Sims icons on it. There's like a Bonehilda maybe, there's a cow plant. So I don't really know what to expect out of this. They've been very careful to not show us too much just yet. I like how it has the Sims on the tag down here, and I love the idea of an official Sims merch store. I am probably going to buy a lot of these things just because I love the Sims, but I might make a video like reviewing the merch store or something once it's out, so let me know if I should do that. And I think that just about covers all of the Sims news that we've gotten in the past couple of days. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the trailer today. I'm also gonna link my previous trailer reaction to the first trailer here on the end card in a second if you want to go back and watch that. And make sure you're subscribed here to my YouTube channel, because as soon as I am able to, I'm gonna be posting a ton of content on the new expansion pack, and I am really excited about this one, so I think it's gonna be fun and you don't want to miss it. And on that note, I am gonna end this video right here, so thank you for watching, and I'm gonna catch you all tomorrow. Okay, bye everybody. All I've been thinking about for weeks now is building apartments. I almost can't believe that we're actually getting this pack. I am so excited about this.